My name is Dawn Hudgins, and I'm the Vice President of Service Delivery for the International Legal Technology Association, also known as ILTA. And I have with me today Gina Buser. Gina, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So Gina, tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm Gina Buser and I'm married and to my wonderful husband, Joe, and I have a daughter, Haley, who actually turns 30 this year, which is so hard to believe. And she has a daughter named Lily, and then I have twin boys that are freshmen in college, Jackson and Andrew, and I'm also CEO and founder for Traveling Coaches.
Excellent. Nice. So let's just dive right in. Gina, you are a very successful person, successful female. And so let's look back at your life a little bit, because there's always some inspirations that happen at some point along the way. And so think a little bit and tell us about throughout your journey, who multiple people have been inspirational for you and why?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I tell you, I've been blessed with many. Although I'll give you a couple and unpack that a little bit. One, I would say my first one was one of my high school teachers. She was actually my typing teacher, and her name was Mrs. Myers, and she really just saw the gift and talent of leadership in me and really brought that out. She gave me opportunities to utilize that. She encouraged me. She talked to me about it. She really talked to me about whatever you set your mind to, go for it. It was even, and sadly, even the conversation of it doesn't matter if you're a woman, which is kind of crazy, but yet reality. And so I would definitely say Mrs. Myers was very inspirational within my high school years. And then I would say early in my career, I was working in a law firm, and our executive director, his name was Mark Hansen, and he is probably one of the best people leaders that I have ever worked with. One of the things that I really learned from him, not only in conversations, but I would also say even just watching him and how he worked and how he led people, was one, he really connected with them. He was very present. He also really believed in developing people and putting them into positions to where they could succeed and really utilize their strengths and gifting. And that resonated with me because even as a child, even though I was labeled as bossy or whatever, which is just another term for leadership as a kid, right? I've always been really passionate about developing people and really investing in people. And so I was so blessed to work with someone really early in my career that was their leadership style. So I feel like it gave me such a fantastic foundation to see that in action early on.
So during this series, we've talked a lot about trailblazing. We've talked a lot about leadership, and you've just spoken about leadership. So let's dig a little bit deeper on maybe what those key traits are that you find most important about a leader.
Yeah, I would say one is determination, really setting your sights on whatever it is, and it can be little or small, and being willing to get up even after you've had a challenge or a fall and take a different angle, take a different approach, whatever that looks like. I think also having faith in yourself, faith in others, faith also in what you're doing, I think is huge. I have found in my own life, as well as even in mentoring or walking alongside others, if you don't really believe in what you're doing, it's very difficult to be successful in it. And I would also say if you don't really believe in yourself, it's very difficult to be successful. It doesn't mean you can't, but it's a lot harder when you don't really believe in yourself. And then I would also point back to investing in others. I think sometimes it's so easy, whether if we call it career path or we call it leadership, et cetera, that we are so focused on the prize, whatever that is, and yet enjoying the journey, which I think heavily involves giving back and really investing in others, is such a key characteristic attribute. Just it's where the joy comes from, is when you're willing to slow down enough to really intentionally invest in other people.
Excellent. I think it's interesting a lot of times how these conversations go, because I'll have all these questions that are pre-planned, and then the conversation just naturally lends itself that way, and I think it's fantastic. You've been involved with ILTA for quite some time. From leaving a legacy perspective, what have you gained from being a part of ILTA or from working within ILTA? How has that affected your life?
Yeah, I have gained so much. I've described it to a lot of people as I feel like Gina as a leader and Traveling Coaches as an organization and ILTA in a lot of ways have grown up together, because I started the business in '95, and very shortly after that, we became very active in ILTA. So in addition to the lifelong friendships and relationships that I've had, I think I've learned a lot about partnership. I've learned, we've tried a lot of different things over the years. Some have worked really well and some have not. And so the ILTA audience and just friends and colleagues have been a fantastic place to really get a voice of the customer and a voice of what's needed in the market. And just really a really strong partnership, I think is one of the things that has really resonated with me and benefited me personally, as well as our organization, is that partnership, access to the members, and I mean that in a very relationship oriented way, because we get to not only share our expertise, but we also get to walk alongside firms and develop long-term partnerships and relationships with them. So I've learned a ton and really benefited personally and professionally from my involvement with ILTA.
Great. If you could leave behind one sentence or phrasing or thought regarding leaving a legacy, what would that look like?
I would say get out of yourself long enough to give back. That's huge. It's huge. So much of what leadership teaches us is all about what we get, what we attain. And yet it's really all about, if you don't have a team and a group that's going there with you, the journey's not very fun. It's not very fulfilling. And I think one of the greatest joys of leadership, or frankly, leaving a legacy, because leadership at the end of the day is really just about influence. I think it's all about really investing in others and taking others along with you on the journey, learning together, being authentic. I've given you a lot more than one, and I know you asked for one, so.
That's all very valuable. Very valuable. Gina, thank you so much for coming on Tea with me and to talk about living a legacy, and for leadership and trailblazing. You certainly fit all that criteria, and I enjoy working with you and learning from you. And we'll hopefully continue to do that as well. So thank you very much, and take care.
Sure, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.